everyone. Lisa Haven here, and I've got a very disturbing report to share with you guys today, and that is this. The FBI has just potentially found a way to infiltrate your home, and you are not going to believe the open door that they have been given. But before I get into the report, just a quick break. Apple has just announced a very controversial new security update. The tech giant has just announced that they are going to scan every single iPhone, iPad, and Apple computer that is connected to cloud for illicit material. Edward Snowden has slammed these plans, calling them disasters in the making. Nearly 100 policy and right groups have asked Apple not to go forward with this update. Apple isn't the only one that is doing this. In fact, most tech giants breach your privacy in multiple ways. This is why I strongly recommend that you have a VPN, a virtual private network, and I personally love and use Virtual Shield at hidewithlisa.com. If you want to fight back against these big tech organizations and protect your privacy, then Virtual Shield is the way to do that. You see, Virtual Shield actually adds an extra layer of protection to your online accounts. It routes a user's online activity through their virtually encrypted tunnels. It's fast, secure, and very easy to use, and there are no hidden fees. And right now, if you go to hidewithlisa.com, you can take advantage of a 30-day free trial and up to 50% off for life. All you have to do to sign up is click on Start Now for free, then pick what plan works for you, 3 or less devices, pick Protect Yourself, or if you want to do the whole family, click Protect the Family. Then choose how many months you want it. I recommend 24 months at $250 because that is the best deal. Then pick any add-ons that you like. Virtual Shield is so easy to use, and if you want to protect your family and be safe, then sign up today before it's too late. Want more information? Go to hidewithlisa.com or check the description box below. All right, back to the broadcast. So just how has the FBI been given an open door to infiltrate your home? Well, how about the fact that 90,000 school officials have penned a letter to Joe Biden, who is, by the way, one of the most radical leftist presidents that we have ever had, and making it more clear with each and every passing day. But 90,000 school officials have penned a letter to the President of the United States asking him to send in the FBI to your children's school in order to save them from the parents. No joke. That could be an open door for your child to basically be an informant on you. Here's what I'm talking about here. Take a look at this article. This is on AmericanMilitaryNews.com. 90,000 school officials request Secret Service and FBI protection investigations into domestic terrorists who intimidate the schools. Now, let me take you to the actual letter so you can see it for yourself and you can see what we're talking about here. But here it is. It's from the National School Boards Association, and you could see that it was very recently written or put together on September 29th, just days ago, 2021. But here's what it has to say. And you can see, Dear Mr. President is who it's addressed to. But it states this: the NSBA believes immediate assistance is required to protect our students, our school board members, and educators who are susceptible to acts of violence affecting interstate commerce because of threats to their districts, their families, and their personal safety. As our school boards continue coronavirus recovery operations within their respective districts, they are also persevering against other challenges that could impede this progress in a number of communities, coupled with attacks against school board members and educators for approving policies for masks to protect the health and safety of students and school employees. Many public school officials are also facing physical threats because of propaganda purporting the false inclusion of critical race theory within the classroom instruction and curricula. This propaganda continues despite the fact that critical race theory is not not taught in public schools and remains a complex law, school, and graduate subject matter well beyond the scope of the K-12 class. Now, I'm going to show you in a moment evidence that some schools are promoting critical race theory, despite what this NSBA has to say. But on top of that, here's what it also goes on to say. On behalf of our schools association and more than 90,000 school board members who govern our country's 14,000 local public schools and districts, educating more than 50 million school children, NSBA appreciates your leadership to end the proliferation of COVID-19 in our communities and our school districts. We also appreciate the recent discussions with White House and U.S. Department of Education staffs on many critical issues facing public schools. Huge. So here they make a couple things. We're not teaching critical race theory, and the parents are mad at us for teaching critical race theory, but we're not teaching it. I'm going to show you some schools are pushing some of the books that teach critical race theory. I'm going to show you in just a moment. Not only that, but they're mad and livid at these parents coming to the school boards being upset because their kids are subjugated to either mask mandates or vaccine mandates or critical race theory or fill in the blank. Parents have had enough. And this is not happening at one school district. This is all across the country. Mind you, never is it okay for any kind of violence. I'm against that at all levels. But here's the thing. There's local police officers who are already staffed and can be called in or are called in. There's security that's already existing at these places. There's no need to call in federal aid for these school boards when they already have it through local law enforcement. There is something else going on, and I can't really put my finger on it here. Get to restrictive republic, but hey, it's almost as if they were inspired by someone to pen this letter. I just feel that in my gut. That's not a fact. That's what I feel. But the letter goes on to say this. And here's where they're requesting it, right? So you could see it for yourself. The NSBA respectfully ask that a joint collaboration among federal law enforcement agencies, state and local law enforcement agencies, they're wanting a hybrid here between federal and local and law enforcement with the public school officials be undertaken to focus on these threats. Please, feds, come in. FBI, federal, all of it, they go on. NSBA specifically solicits the expertise and resources of the U.S. Department of Justice, the FBI, yes, the FBI, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. These are the departments that handle actual terrorist threats, right? U.S. Secret Service and its National Threat Assessment Center regarding the level risk of public school children, educators, board members, and facility campuses. No one here is threatening children. It's the school boards that the parents are upset with, and never should violence ever be used in any form, especially at the school board meetings. But there's already people in place to handle that, as I said before. But here they are literally begging for the U.S. Department of Justice to interfere, the FBI to interfere, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, the U.S. Secret Service, and the National Threat Assessment Center. Wait. They're also going to request the U.S. Post Office. We also request the assistance of the Postal Inspection Service to intervene against threatening letters and cyberbullying attacks that have been transmitted to students, school board members, district administrators, and other educators. Whoa. Again, I can't get this shaky feeling that somebody encouraged them to pen the letter to call in aid of organizations that deal with actual terrorists, like the FBI and the U.S. Department of Justice, Homeland Security, all of it. U.S. Department of Homeland Security. I mean, really? In our schools? So then I ask again, how is this? Is this the way that the FBI or the federal government can find a way into your homes, and it's through your children? I mean, that's a little much, don't you think? This is exactly what happens in communist country when you have the federal government seizing power over everything. And here we have a letter penned by 90,000 school officials. But I just can't shake this eerie feeling that maybe they had encouragement somewhere. Because there's already rules and laws and regulations in place to prevent any kind of violence from breaking out. Are these school board members really just upset? What I've been seeing in a lot of these school board things is the fact that these parents are upset and coming up to the podium and they get cut off. They get told they can't talk. The school board members shut them down. But here's a little bit of what's going on so you get the idea here. But Breitbart.com, school board recalls nearly double as parents fight critical race theory and pandemic policies. Here's another one. Parent school boards unions clash over classroom mask across the country. Unmask our kids now. Then we have kgun9.com. Parents rally at Vail School District to drop the school mask mandate. Then we have MSN. From North Carolina to Florida, protests have disrupted school board meetings over mask and critical race theory. Then we have Fox News. Christopher Rufo. The media is lying about critical race theory, by the way. Parents of every race oppose teaching it in schools. So it's being, parents are upset with the mandates and they're upset about critical race theory. And by the way, let me show you some evidence that they are teaching it in the schools. And hear this, Christopher F. Rufo, here's that kind of article here that was penned. He goes, here's a list of public school districts that are teaching Not My Idea. This is the name of the book, right? Which traffics in the, basically, in the principles of race essentialism, collective guilt, and anti-whiteness, which are all the things of critical race theory. And here's the actual document he links to. And you can see all the schools that are recommending this particular book, or schools tell the parents to read the book to their children, just depending. And I'm going to go here to the Tempe Unified School District here, because this is right here in my backyard, if you will. Here we have Tempe Union High School District. And if you scroll down here to books for your library, right? And you scroll down, you can see the book right here, Not My Idea. And every one of these, by the way, are hyperlinked, and you can do that with any article. But that is critical race theory being taught in our schools. And that's not the only time. Here's another thing that I covered in a prior article on Restricted Republic, but dailymail.co.uk. New York principal sends parents a pamphlet asking them to rate their whiteness and urging them to be white traitors who dismantle institution. Again, this is a critical race theory tenet. Here's what they're doing. They're saying, we're not teaching critical race theory, but we're just going to teach the tenets of it and say it's not critical race theory. This is why parents are so irate. And here it is, the eight white identities. So lots of crazy stuff is happening, right? There has to be a place where parents can voice their opinion and their concerns peacefully, and the school board members listen to them. And that's not happening on all occasions. And there has to be, obviously, this has to be a peaceful process. We're allowed to peacefully come forward and address our concerns. This is one of our given constitutional rights. And now we have 90,000 officials penning a letter asking for federal intrusion into our schools. What kind of intrusion would that spiral effect, or domino effect, if you will, into our personal lives? Anyhow, I'd love to get your thoughts, comments, and concerns. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.